Hello people and welcome to watch the second semi-final of the second season of Carcassonne Champions League. Now, yesterday we streamed the first one between Pakshay and Alexei LV, and as we all saw, and we can see from the result on the board, Alexei took a fat W on against his Thai counterpart with a 3-1 win and has moved on as the first player to the grand finale, where he will be waiting for his opponent from the match today, either the defending CCL champion Vladimir Kovalev or the strong German opponent of his yzemaze, who arguably has a bit less titles, but still not all that far away from the level of Vladimir, I would say, if not even on the same level, at least in online Carcassonne, as Utse is definitely one of the more analytical minds that we have seen, and he'll be taking full advantage on that against his RCP opponent, and will certainly try to get Germany into the grand finale, making the grand finale only between the European countries. Now, some interesting facts that we can also see from the group stage actually is well, not only that both players actually finish first in their group with 4-1, but Utse arguably, I would say, one one of the toughest groups in the whole group stage. You can see the first player yzemaze, the second Senglar from Catalonia, the current world champion, and also as the third player was Pakshay, who we just saw yesterday losing the semi-finals. So two semi-finalists coming from the same group is arguably pretty difficult group to be in. Also, you can see a fourth player repping Tutesia, Gladki Alex, who also was who also took part in the World Championships the last year. Another RPC rep, strong, another strong player. Do not waste my time. And Mate, who also has had previous experience of CCL already, and is also a, a very familiar face and a veteran in the competitive Carcassonne. Also reached the quarterfinals of the CCL last year. This year, uh, quite an unfortunate result for him, but you know, you can't win them all. So let's see if the players are abiding by the schedule. And they are. Utse is the starting player as well as the rating favorite here. But I'd have to say that I would still place my money on the defending champion, purely due to his previous successes and like more continuous success, I would say, of online and live competitions. Okay, welcome everyone in the chat, Alexei and Andres. This was going to be 3-2. I mean, it could be. We are definitely hoping for that to be, because that would just mean that we see more Carcassonne than well, the most Carcassonne that we could see today. Utse with the first 4 points and with 2 cities, whilst Vladimir with a kind of a troublesome city at the top, which could very well be a ruin at the end of the day after Utsi having placed the quad city on it. But also it's controlling a very nice looking road, and pretty much the only road there is. I was a bit surprised by Vladimir's move with the curve here earlier, when he did not meeple the road straight up. Instead, he just directed it upwards and left it as it was, even though like there was really no risk at all of meepling the road, especially with a vacant city cap pointing towards it. But he did meeple it in the end, so just a little bit later. You'd say indirectly protecting his city from the bottom, as well as creating this nice attacking platform on the 3-point city of Vladimir. And there is a very nice field brewing, so if Uze or Vladimir gets a tile to go like over here with, they might both actually take the chance, though it's a bit inconvenient for both players. But Vladimir finds potentially a better tile to do that. At least he doesn't risk this square, but it does bring some issues in the form of exactly this. So you'd say being able to make the classic move of finishing your city and dropping a farmer, which is gonna be a bit inconvenient for Vladimir, but he has a nice monastery spot next to his previous one, so that's something that you can be quite happy with. And even though he's 10 points behind on the scoreboard, his features on the board are decent, and with the added benefits of monastery stacking, or potential monastery stacking, then I think Vladimir is in a very much decent position. You'd say grabbing a road of his own, placing some value on his meeples that were just lying around in his hand, and also creates this additional platform to connect to the 9-point field, so that he doesn't actually have to finish the monastery of Vladimir, although with a monastery of his own, I think you'd say will still do that exact move. But now at least he does have a great use for like a tile such as this, if he doesn't want to go the extra mile and wait for the monastery. But he decides otherwise, wants to instead be in the lead with this field, and it's not a bad move actually, because there are like still all but one monastery remaining in this square, plus a stack of vanillas, so this square is impossible to block. And you could also argue that it's not really even worth it to go here like straight away, just connect yourself with a road tile, because you have this wonderful monastery spot, which is going to get filled anyway, so you don't actually have to like kind of waste your move on this connection, which would be made anyway. So that's some nice board vision from Yze, kind of maximizing his values per turn. Welcome LP Tufo and Glovian. Great to see you here. Yze with the starting tile. I mean, I think we just start another city somewhere, maybe here, which would also indirectly continue our road. It would create some pressure for this meeple, and it starts a city of our own in a very safe place, and he does exactly that. I think it's a very nice move. It accomplishes again so many things at the same time, which is what efficiency is made of. Vladimir probably gonna be just continuing his city over here, like slowly but surely trying to make it a trying to make it at least look like a dangerous feature. The meeple uh, is it extra? I mean, it's still only a 9-point field. I'm not sure if it's that worth it to attack with like your full force, especially when you have two meeples in hand. Now you have only one, so you are quite restricted potentially of being able to actually use your meeples that freely. Yze does get the monastery, but he's thinking, does he actually go here? Or now that the second road monastery is gone, or the first one, he could also try and do stuff like go here with a curve and also try to get the second road monastery for himself, blocking this monastery and thus tying down a meeple from Vladimir for the remainder of the game. But like it's still like it's such a good monastery spot. Like I don't think Yze will not use it. And also because you have the lead on the scoreboard, you don't really need to go for the 50-50s, right? Like you don't need that variance. Yeah, which is why we go and do indeed take the monastery spot for ourselves. Vladimir continues to build up his city, and Yze not getting a city tile, not able to attack it. Vladimir now with another triangle, and certainly will be going over here. I would argue that it is the only spot where you should go. I mean, you could, I guess, theoretically go here as well, with two daggers also remaining, and also a splitter. But then, that leaves a attacking spot for Yze. And besides, Vladimir already has a spot at the bottom to use city caps too. So this is just arguably a bit more safe, and it's always really nice feeling to be able to use a triple city to finish a rather large feature. Triple cities which usually don't carry that much value. Welcome Terrycloth. It's simply adding 2 points to his road. And now with Vladimir with a monastery of his own, not really able to meeple it because his monastery spot was taken away by Yze, and there are no other monastery spots available. Well, kinda there is one, but like it's so easily blockable that with only two meeples and a pending field battle, you really don't want to do that. Also, Vladimir definitely wants to drop another farmer over here, which I think Yze will be preventing. I think he's gonna go over here, and he might honestly not even drop a meeple on the city. Okay, goes just takes the. Is this a miss? I think it might be a miss. I I mean, I get that there was like the possibility for Yze to be restricted to a crossroad over here, which there were only 3 remaining. But this threat of Vladimir being able to drop his third farmer on a likely to a 15-point field, and already this 12-point field is actually enough value for him to drop the third farmer, because it is only 1 extra farmer for that 12 points. So this is just a really, really big threat, and something that I think Yze should have taken care of. Unfortunately for him, he decided otherwise. He decided that taking back this road meeple was more important, and I have to disagree with that decision. It's now limited to a dagger, which there are still 2 remaining, so that's not that bad. Whilst also trying to make a 10-point city and drop a third farmer of his own, which Vladimir should be preventing, and he does. Does not meeple the road with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 crossroads, and a triple city with a road and a road monastery still remaining. So 4 road ends still remaining, and leaving this 5-point road up for grabs. But it's not now. It's not such a big deal, because now there are 2 5-point roads. 2 5-point roads up for grabs, and Yze will be going over here, will be dropping a third farmer, and will prevent Vladimir from dropping a 6-point farmer if he gets his hands on the triple city with a field, which there is still 75% chance of happening. So we did kind of miss out on preventing Vladimir from dropping 1 farmer, but I think especially with the point lead that we have, we definitely need to equalize like this field and prevent this city from and prevent this 6-point farmer of Vladimir from becoming reality. Kind of playing with fire here. Even though there are only 2 tiles that are ideal for Vladimir to use, I think this is still like, or should be our priority. Equalizing this now 15-point field with what we had was 17 points lead on the board, and this 8-point monastery put us at plus 25, plus 23, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Even upon completion, this city is only going to be 22 points, which is not even enough to put Vladimir in the lead, and we would at least have this extra 6 points and prevent Vladimir from taking that, which is now prevented by Vladimir himself, preventing Yze from dropping that farmer on the field. And now Yze will have tremendously more difficult time of trying to win this game, because there are after this, there are absolutely no attacking points to the field. None at all. if you don't count like road monastery connection. But because we did not go over here with a third meeple, we are not only losing this 15-point field, but we also we also made it possible for Vladimir to potentially double down on the points of the city, and now we are basically banking so hard on getting both of those triple cities to ourselves and making sure that Vladimir is not going to be able to finish his city, that I don't think our chances are that good to win. I mean, it's pretty much the 25%, which is roughly the chances that we have to draw both of those triple cities. And if Vladimir gets either one of those, he's not only getting to score his 22-point city, going to plus 11 on the scoreboard, he also controls a total of 24 points in fields, which is like terrible for Yze. Like absolutely terrible. Vladimir now preparing to even go with the fourth farmer, and I think this is more of an insurance farmer here, so that Yze doesn't get any ideas like going here and then placing a ninja farmer and then blocking this connection, because now even that is not possible anymore. And he also, adds a city cap to his field, which is always nice. So I would argue that Vladimir is having a pretty comfortable time at the moment, knowing that there are still 2 tiles for him in the deck to finish the city. Plus 11, 19, 24, 22, 6, 3, plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Vladimir is actually plus 7 even without completing this city at the moment. So that just further emphasizes the critical need of Yze of being able to catch both of those triple cities, and but with those 2 triple cities, where's he gonna get the points from? I mean, he can get 2 points here, but it also looks like he's waiting a divider to go over here. He can also take this 6-point field and perhaps enlarge it to a 9-pointer, which arguably is something that he should definitely try and do. Unfortunately, this starting tile restricted city is not possible to be completed because all starting tiles are gone, but it's still a 6-point field and potentially expandable to 9 points. He can get the road monastery, and when you gotta hope for those 2 triple cities, you gotta hope for the rest of the tiles to be like pretty much as efficient as possible. So that is indeed the plan that Yze goes for, and to me it looks like a pretty solid plan. But still, 25%, not not even near the the limits of being able to play comfortably without any issues. Vladimir will be taking 2 points from somewhere, probably here, just restricting down this field a little bit. One thing that Vladimir might have to be aware of is this little connection possibility to the field for Utse in case he is in a desperate need of these 15 points. So he could go here with, let's say, the a triple city with a field and then try hoping for a road monastery or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one of the two remaining curves. So there is a somewhat of a possibility for Utsis to actually still connect to this field and potentially block this connection opportunity from Vladimir. And Utse, I mean, we gotta go for the plan, right? We want to maximize the points. Because it's not like we have anything else to do with this tile, don't we? I think Utse is just contemplating whether he needs to drop another farmer here, but I think he decides correctly, and also Vladimir decides correctly by drawing the one of the two triple cities, and now this puts Utse in a position where this field is not going to be enough. He's -9 on the scoreboard, -1 on this, -5. This puts equal. Then -6 for this field, which is compensated by the 6-point field of Utse himself, and then he's basically losing by 18 points, which is the point amount of this main field. And if Vladimir goes over here, gives up these 6 extra points, or just goes here, that also works. That also works. Then we are now at what, -12, -15. Utsi goes for the field monastery connection unsuccessfully. Vladimir will be blocking that immediately because it is far more important than connecting to the 12-point field of Utse. It's simply just more points. And when you only have one meeple, you don't really want to do that either. Like you don't have to do this. You don't have to get your fourth meeple in because you can simply block the third meeple of Utse. And I reckon when this happens, then Utse will simply get another road tile and he will be trying to get the connection from here or from anywhere. He's trying his everything now to simply tie this field. A field that he actually had an opportunity to try tying before, but the 3 points of the roads at the time were valued more to the German. And I believe the reason Vladimir is taking so long is simply because he's checking the exact point count. So we were minus 1, 2, 3, 4, -18, like -12, -15, -14. Yeah, I believe Vladimir is +14. And we could try to figure out the remaining tiles. So there's a triple city with a field. I believe there might be another curve as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No regular curves. There is a road monastery. Oh. Oh, okay. Interesting choice. But it's understandable actually, because Vladimir is now plus 23, and even with this connection, Yze will be getting, well, 20 points with the two additional points from the road. So that puts him, so that puts Yze at -3, but with an extra meeple though. So this might be risky. And perhaps the thought process of Vladimir here was that if he blocks this connection, then Yze will simply attack from another spot, and then Vladimir has lost his opportunity and his a window of connecting to this well point field, so he's going to be losing out on these points. So a road monastery, a triple city with a field, maybe straight roads, or let's say crossroads. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No crossroads. Wait, what is this? Huh? Is Uche trying to create? I mean, that's the only reasonable explanation. Uche is trying to create another field attacking opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two straight roads, which means that it is unfortunately impossible, entirely impossible for Uze to block this connection and connect himself to the field, because he only has 2 tiles after this. He has to drop a farmer now. Wait, is it impossible? It actually might not be. If he goes here, drops a farmer, hopes for the road monastery, and then like that road monastery comes with his final tile, and with his penultimate tile he's going to be able to use something here. But 2 straight roads, road monastery, and what is the one tile that is still left in the deck? It's not a regular monastery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I completely also forgot that there were these daggers still in the game, so that's also what played a huge part in this extender play here. So it's obviously just made a connection platform either from here or from here, which unfortunately didn't play like he wanted to exactly, but it played out somehow. He is now able to make another road monastery connection. Vladimir goes for the 4th meeple on the field, and unfortunately this is gonna be all he wrote, as you'd say, even with getting the road monastery as his final tile here, which is gonna be the case, he will not be able to equalize the field from 4 to 2, which makes me think that now let me think about this for a bit. So if we go here, I don't know. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was definitely not possible to block this connection. unless we do it with this tile, because then we would need we had to block the connection with this dagger because the remaining tiles were the road Dorito and 2 straight roads and the road Monastery. So we would not have time to block the connection if we go over here first. This would require some more time to fully figure out the end game, but it was a pretty interesting one indeed. I wonder if there was a window of opportunity of any kind for Uche to win actually like without the field. We can attack the 6-point field on top left. Right, like this. That, I mean, depending on when your comment was, Alexei. I mean, I assume it was pretty early actually. The comment was about the giraffe tile. Okay, so the extender. Maybe it was possible to set up a connection of 2 meeples with a single road monastery tile, or just going for a fielder's win. Yeah, I mean, but a fielder's win would looks like something really difficult to actually achieve. There most likely was a real win path for Uche to win without the field, but I'm still sticking by my word that him missing out on the third farmer earlier on was a significant miss on of his like winning probabilities there. But it is now 1-0 for the defending champion. And onwards to the second game we go, which is well on its way. With the scoreboard being equal, 6 points for both, seemingly for a finished road, and looks like more or less a forced quad road tile. It's breaking the city of Vladimir here, and actually do we go here as Vladimir, or do we simply go for the second meeple on this city? Given that there are still 5 triple cities remaining, is that enough for us to try and go for the city, or is it too small? Vladimir decides that it is indeed too small of a feature, and this tile also quite conveniently restricts the attacking opportunities of Uche to only one single tile, in case he would want to be the one placing his second meeple on it, which I would have to doubt actually, because Uche has this 2-point city also in the vicinity, which would be really, really troublesome to work with both of these features. Vladimir likely going to be taking simply his meeple back from the road before it gets restricted, but is seemingly more afraid of getting his monastery restricted to a starting tile as well. But it does happen. His road now gets indeed restricted to the crossroad, and it doesn't really work in his favor here because he created this 4-point this 4-point road spot available to be taken with a crossroad when he added the 1-point road to his monastery. And now when Vladimir needs the crossroads to 2 places, Uze is definitely the player who has the better chances to benefit from this 4-point road. Though, if Uze gets the crossroad earlier than Vladimir, then Uze will be creating this another 4-point road for Vladimir to take upon getting a crossroad of his own. So this 4-point road loss might not actually be much of a loss at all. Am I mistaken, or he could have won this with placing last tile to connect farmer and taking? Yeah, green did indeed have 4 farmers, whereas the road monster would have connected the third one, not a fourth, so Utse would have still lost the field. Yellow can try and sneak in his meeple from the shielded Dorito into the soon-to-be shared city. So from here, yeah, but is that really feasible? I mean, if he gets like a Dorito first, then sure. But I don't see Use placing any tiles over here first and then trying to get like an extender and triple city or something like that. So I think his chances are relying on this road on this field Dorito first, and then hoping to get the rest of the building blocks to snatch this city. A bit unlikely to happen, but it could. You'd say restricting the city of Vladimir to a dagger, which there are still 3 remaining, so not a big deal for the defending champion. Also starts a 1-point city, which gets obstructed very soon by Vladimir. And now with a choice, which I think Vladimir is going to go over here, and he's going to prepare to get himself a splitter and get away with a 12-point city and leave a 2-point city of Utse to its own demise. I am quite surprised that he doesn't meeple the city cap with 2 meeples in hand. Not sure why he wouldn't do that, because now he's giving away 4 points for Utse. I have to say that it is a clear miss from green here. Actually, a rather big mistake, given that he had meeples to recover from here and also from this monastery if he so wants to. It's not the worst thing in the world if he loses the city into a mini battle of this monastery. For all he knows, he might even get his monastery restricted to the starting tile, which no longer exists because it is now gone. Instead takes a field, which, it makes sense. He's looking to get a divider here to add 2 more cities to the field. He's gonna try and finish this city, which is gonna increase the field to 9 points. And yeah, that's definitely a solid idea. I maybe would attack the city now. A divider would be devastating here. But it is Uche who gets a divider. And instead of actually going over here to take his meeple back, he goes for an interesting maneuver. He kind of saves his 2-point city from death and also meeples the city cap, of course. And he now has a variety of options here to do with all kinds of city tiles. Triple cities go over here. Triangles go over here, and triangle would actually be really difficult to deal with for Vladimir because there are no starting tiles. This square can never be restricted to a quad city, and we see a rather huge concession from Vladimir where he decides to complete the city of Utse with a valuable city cap that he couldn't use himself in a better spot, and he takes away this massive threat of Utse completely overrunning the city. And we see further city caps being added by Vladimir on the features of his opponent. Now already a second city cap in a row. Actually not in a row, but 2 city caps out of the 3 that he got were added to his opponent's features. Now this is however reasonable this looks like, this is not an ordinary playstyle. Because you almost never want to add city caps to your opponent's cities unless you can ensure or severely restrict them to ensure their blockage. But these city caps are not for blocking. These city caps are for preventing a more disastrous scenario for Vladimir, and this is really interesting stuff here. When Yellow draw the starting tile, he had the chance to attack the city, hoping for cow/horse tile. When he drew this, and then could have gone over here, but the city wasn't that big, and there were already 4 tiles gone. So only like 4 triple cities remaining, and it would kind of mess with this city of Yellow. Carcassonne co-op mode, maybe. Hi Napalm and Ian. Okay, we are seeing sort of an unfortunate position of Vladimir, where he's not really able to use any kind of city caps to their full extent because he has only 1 meeple, and he has to be focused around this city of Utse. Also, Vladimir has dropped another meeple onto the field, which still has a lot of potential. It has 1 available city cap here, a second one here. It has 9, 12 points on the field already. There is potential for another divider over here, and so there is just all kinds of good stuff that can still happen for Vladimir, despite his small deficit on the scoreboard at the moment. Are we gonna see this move or this move or this move or this move from Utse? It's a pretty important decision because he's gonna want this field meeple to get to the main field, of course, and he does decide to connect. And yep, simply takes 4 points. Now, in a 9-point lead with equal monasteries, there is a 1-point city of Utse, putting him at plus 10, plus 7. Let's count this equal, really, this city. And with all that, Utse is -5 at the moment. Actually, he's not well, because Vladimir still has to connect to this field. Yeah, well, I'd say actually overall a really equal position at the moment. Utse maybe in a slight lead with the threats that he can make, being able to get this back, maybe even able to get like a city cap here and a splitter here. But this connection of Vladimir into the field definitely complicates things. yzemaze will have to sacrifice another meeple to the field at some point. So how does he do it exactly? Is it too wild to go over here and meeple the field and leave this 8-point, potential 8-point, actually a 10-point city up for grabs, because the remaining road Dorito, which there is one remaining, does come with a shield. And he does do it, he does exactly that. He's really laying down these scoring options for himself. Does get an extra 4 points for the city over here. Or actually, I think, which one is actually better? This more vacant one or this one, which is not on the field? But I mean, he's banking on getting to the field anyway, so he might as well get this, right? Because then that takes away some scoring potential from Vladimir with a divider, with this exact tile. With this exact tile, it would have taken away some scoring potential from Vladimir, which is now not possible to be done anymore. And also, unfortunately for Utse, there goes his one out of getting this meeple back into his hand. This has potentially created another attacking opportunity to the field. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there is still one vanilla tile left. Yes, there is. And maybe Doritos. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's one Dorito with field, one Dorito with road. So this could very well be a spot that Vladimir will try to take advantage of with another field meeple. This one is, however, actually, is it made for taking this city or is it made for taking 3 points? That's the question that Vladimir has to ask from himself. Because he is behind in points and he, I think, has to assume that Utse is going to connect. So, -9 equal. Yeah, he does go for the city. -9 equal -10, -17, -14, -14 actually if Utse connects to the field. Only if. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 2 crossroads. So a 75% chance for Utse to indeed connect. Six-point road waiting for whoever finishes the monasteries. That is also true, but that's not going to be a big enough feature for Vladimir. I'd say it heavily favors Utse here. Well, it's going to be a great addition for Vladimir if he's able to finish the city, but Vladimir's winning chances are kind of heavily favored on kind of heavily relying on either finishing this city and then scoring, or actually just outright winning this field of 18 points. Utse gets a road Dorito, which he is not going to be able to defend his connection with. Now, one field crossroad and one city crossroad remaining, so potentially that connection is going to be killed off on the next move of Vladimir. How does yzemaze pronounce his username? I believe it's yzemaze, as in like German, as in like in German pronunciation. That's why I'm pronouncing it as it is, because he has instructed me of it. 4 points on the left open up another platform. Yep, they do. So this one. German players pronounce it like 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 uh, like yzemaze. I think your Y is very Finnish. It is. It is in purpose. Well, there are these classical, um, let's say, differentiations of how to pronounce names, but at least uh, I will keep on using yzemaze, as that is um, what I have heard great feedback from the man himself. So, adding calmly 3 points to himself is what Utse does, and I believe a block is about to come. I think Vladimir does not have the luxury to take these 4 points, unlike Utse, who will take the 4 points over here. With maybe there's a curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Unfortunately, no curve, no daggers, so this city can never actually be in Utse's field. But it is still 4 points. Or maybe he goes over here, tries to complete a city for himself. But is this city completion gonna be enough if Vladimir gets the butterfly? I gotta say I don't believe it is, because these three extra points from the road are gonna be also added to the tally, and this certainly plays well for Vladimir here, getting the connection, getting +7 points. It's with the butterfly gets to take this extra 4 points, maybe. Actually, I think what might be better is maybe these 3 points over here, because if Ilse takes the 6 points here, then it creates a 6 point field for Vladimir. But the issue here is that Vladimir could get the field crossroad, go over here, take the 5 point road, and if Ilse does not use his meeple right here, right now, then he's gonna have meeple surplus. Unlike Vladimir, who will be able to use all of his meeples. But Ilse is banking on that doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen. His gut told him right. But is that going to be enough to actually win this game? It does, however, get the 6 point field for Vladimir, and unfortunately for Utse, he can't actually go here for 6 points because it now gives a meeple back to Vladimir. So he's gonna have to settle with, well, at least 5 points. So not much of a loss there. Vladimir with a road monastery looking to expand his field somehow, but it is not possible. So just a simple discard of the tile, and I believe Vladimir has taken a 2-0 lead here after successfully being able to deny the connection of Utse. Maybe. Yeah, this should be way more than enough, and it is gonna be way more than enough. Well, not way more. I mean, it's a 7 point difference, so it's actually a quite even game here. But enough is enough. This connection of this connection denial rather of Vladimir was certainly paid a big factor here, sacrificing some points, actually sacrificing 8 points, and maybe even more so, maybe even 12, because he gave another city cap to Utse. But he kept his field with 18 points, and that was enough to take this game home. And now moves into a 2-0 lead against the German, who now has to win all 3 remaining games if he wants to actually win this match. And that is definitely not something that you would, definitely not a situation you'd like to be at as the German player, because that is just an immense amount of pressure. Finnish Y is supposed to be similar to German Y. Note that I think about it. No, note that I think about it. I don't know any word in German with a Y. My Mexican 5-vowel ears hear the Finnish Y as a E from Hungary or something like that. Okay, let's refrain from focusing too much on linguistics here. And let's instead focus on what is going to go down, and it's not looking like a great start for the German, as Vladimir is really really quickly able to take hold of the take control of this medium-sized city with 2-1 meeples, and now just waiting for one of the 4 road Doritos to finish the city, and also lays down on this rather nice looking field, which is gonna be now 6 points, 9 points, 12 points, and also something that Utse could have indeed done is maybe even with this tile meeple the road from here, but he does get the road anyway, though now it comes with a bit of a cost. And arguably, had he, you know, for had he not been valuing this block of the 1 point meeple over the road, he would have also been able to protect his city slightly. But this might all be all great and nice, fun and well, whatever adjectives you want to use, if Utse can simply keep drawing the road Doritos. Now there's only 2 remaining, so the chances of Vladimir being able to close this city have gone down drastically. And Utse building a ruin instead. Both players with a bit of a low amount of meeples. Utse still with, well, actually both players still with 3 daggers to their name to get their meeples out. Vladimir finds the road Dorito, and this is gonna be really, really painful for the German here. Really, really painful. Vladimir now expands his field to 9 points, and with I'd say no attacking possibilities to the field at all. I do not count this as an attacking platform because Utse will, I think, never go for it unless he is like in a 99 to 1 situation where he like really needs to take like the biggest risks of his life. Simply because of course this going over here exposes a platform for Vladimir to kill off this 1 point meeple, which still has like actually great chances to get back into Utse's hand at the moment. +9 lead for Vladimir, saves his 1 point city, starts another one, has the control of the 9 point field, is attacking the road, and really has pretty much equalized all features of Utse. And Utse definitely having a bit of a difficult time here. But he's finding ways. He's finding ways. He is now trying to actually limit more than one city of Vladimir to the same dagger. So he's trying to get a curve or a crossroad over here, limits also this one to a dagger, then maybe even get all 3 daggers to himself. Utse is, of course, and trying to win by using a meeple majority for scoring, and then maybe eventually even attacking this field for 9 points in the end. It is... Oh, but now do you go here or do you take this meeple back? What a question. Because this is exactly what you wanted since the very beginning. You wanted to restrict these cities to the same starting tile, but do you do it with uh, to the same dagger, excuse me. But do you want to do it with the dagger you could get your meeple out with? Ah, what an unfortunate timing of this dagger for Utse with the dilemma. I mean, 3 daggers do still exist on the left side, which must play a big factor in the decision making of the German. So he's looking to delay this restriction. And he simply wants to save his meeple, get the 4-point road, and try and do the maximum scoring here. Try and get this block done with another road plus city tile. With something like this would be definitely welcomed for Utse, but Vladimir is actually prepared to limit his own city to a dagger simply because there are indeed all 3 remaining, and he doesn't actually mind this being a thing because he has already secured this 1-point city over here of being saved to the dagger. So even if this city were to get completely blocked, it's not such a big deal because he would need the same tile here anyway, and he doesn't want to pass, or he doesn't want to pass these 4 potential points to his opponent. Quite a wise move from Vladimir actually here. He made it. He actually is achieving several things at the same time. First of all, he is trying to protect this connection to the 4-point road a little bit. Second of all, he's making it harder for Utse to claim this field as the first player, because Vladimir wants to be the player who takes the field when taking this meeple back with the dagger. And thirdly, he is actually creating a blocking platform onto this blocking platform making square. So like if you go over here with another road tile, then it's significantly harder for Utse to drop anything over here. So finding quite a lot of value from a simple straight road. Utse going for the city, and Vladimir getting his dagger, certainly going to be going with this city first, as the city is already kind of saved. Gonna go over here, drop a farmer for 9 points, and I mean life is smiling big for the RCP player here, and he certainly must be happy about his position. Now controlling a 12-point field and a 9-point field, and Utse not having all that much for himself. Vladimir, I want to say he's likely gonna go over here, but no. Instead, also takes the 6-point field and connects himself to the 2-point road. So he's like making all these field moves. He's taking all the fields for himself, and Utse has the meeple majority, a fine meeple majority, but Vladimir keeps getting all the right tiles and keeps scoring on every single move, making life of Utse entirely unbearable. I mean, look at this, plus 10 on the scoreboard, controlling 12 points, 24 points, 33 points worth of fields, and has an 8-point monastery on top, equalizes on this city, and all that Uze has is 2 uncompleted cities. Even with the completion of this city of Uze, it's not going to be anywhere near enough because he is behind by like 40 points. This is insane with 11 tiles to go. Vladimir has just been making this look so incredibly easy here. The green cancer was anyway. What? Oh, green farmer. uh, on where? On the field? I'm not sure which farmer do you mean. I mean, green just simply taking all fields for himself. He means with the platform on the right. Okay, let's see what else we have missed on the chat. We have missed a lot. Okay, maybe we'll go through the chat after the game has finished, and then we'll focus on the actual game for the remainder of the tiles. Okay, Utse finding some sort of value in his head for the curve over here. Not sure what that is, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe creating an attacking platform to the field from here. I mean, that's pretty much the only value that I can figure out for this tile or for this move. I mean, plus 10, 22, 34, 43, 51, 50, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 39 is the lead of green, and what on earth can you do as Uze here? Vladimir even dropping just simple insurance farmers to make sure that Uze can under no circumstances attack on the largest features on the board, being the fields, and it does indeed seem like Uche has almost given up. Not that he actually had much at all to do with this tile. Might even, yeah, go over here. He's now just focusing on simply taking away as many points from his opponent as possible, trying to make sure that the final point count is not as devastating as it could be. And we are going to be seeing or let's say, let's be optimistic here. It looks like we are going to be seeing a complete sweep of the German here by the defending champion, and showing why he is the defending champion, looking to renew his title. Looking to re-king himself. Re-crown. That's not even a word. Uze with a scoring tile. Goes for a simple one-pointer. is there actually a dagger remaining? There is a dagger remaining, so we could even actually see the completion of the city, which would be kind of uh, yeah, it would be pretty clean to see, even though it wouldn't actually have an effect on the final outcome. But you know, we can surely appreciate the effort of Yze here with the city building and not being and not giving up on playing accurately for the remainder of the game. And he does get it. And also Meeples the road, of course, for some extra points. So this is definitely some uh, some added bonus accuracy of the German here, and also some added satisfaction level to the game when we see these large completed cities, which have been there pretty much for the entirety of the game since the start of the game. Utse started this city, and he very persistently went for the completion. And it looks like he went there with the risk of even getting his meeple sucked into the field and losing out on these points. But you know, when we go with the best possible tile draw, which you know happened for Utse, you know, in the last like 7 tiles, which is you know not much, but it happened. We were able to really maximize our points here. 113 to 99 is gonna be the final count. So actually, Utse didn't even lose by that much. I mean, looking at it at his position, where he was minus 39 with like 2 or 3 extra meeples, and like pretty much with like no hope to win. Not like maybe someone could find like one sequence out of the possible 3000 where Utsi actually wins, even without requiring assistance from his opponents. But I have to say that his chances of winning there were just ridiculously small. Like right after Vladimir started to grabbing the daggers over here and getting all the field points for himself. So, massive congratulations to Vladimir Kovalev for renewing his feat of last year and getting himself to the grand finale with again actually a complete sweep of his opponent from like last year. Last year it was Alexei who fell victim to this rather devastating occurrence of getting 3-0'd by the perhaps the strongest RCP player, and now it is the turn of the German to get swept entirely and removed from the wish list of your dreams. So definitely pretty amazing stuff by Vladimir Kovalev here, who will now be battling it out in the grand finale with Alexei Pegushev. So this is gonna be, I mean, just an amazing finale to witness. It's going to be a retake of last year of last year's semi-finals basically, but just with bigger, better, and more tensionable results, rewards, and everything Just the same, but bigger, better, and grander. Oh, this is gonna be such a feast for the eyes. Wow. Now we can focus on the chat again. Oh god, we have lost so much comments. Okay, I see there has been some linguistical stuff being discussed by Alexei and Elias. Unless Yellow now finishes his leftmost city and pulls a comeback, well, it was the direction that Utsi decided to take. Unfortunately, even that wasn't enough. I feel like the correct move is to block, but in a game I would have played the same as a Yellow. Yeah, this is significantly harder to actually um, point out which moves were meant. Actually, let's do a little trick and let's pull up the game one more time. And so just to be able to kind of view the whole map here and point out what is being pointed out in the chat. So let's say 130 maybe. I think that's actually a bit too little. Uh, this and then Utse goes over here and then happens this and then we can pause here and now let's view it with the chat. It's extremely difficult to pull the trigger on a move like that. I feel like the correct move is to block. Uh, to block what exactly? That's my question. Like, what did Utse even have a chance to block? Oh, I think, yeah, I think this might be the thing that Alexei means, because this was pretty much uh, one of the, if not the most difficult decision of Utse that he had to make in this game. So when he had the chance to save his meeple and take a 4-point road, or when he had the chance to take these 4 points over here and limit both and limit also the second city of Vladimir to a dagger of the same kind as he needed already here. I mean, it was definitely a plan, and certainly respects for Utse for actually using so much time on actually debating on this move, which one is the best. And I don't think there are all that many players who would have chosen differently from Utse here. I mean, certainly when you only have one more tile, like one more of these daggers for yourself to complete the city and take a 4-point road, then you are so enticed to simply take the meeple back and try to do this restriction with some other tile. Most likely would have also been the exact thing that I would have done. Just simply take your meeple back and wait for another uh, another chance to restrict your opponent's city to a dagger. if green gets a dagger, it comes with a kill of farmer with, yeah, talking about this 9-point field, which was indeed what Vladimir ended up with. Why didn't he point? Why didn't he point the road end down, or is he still hoping to invade the field? Which one? Like here? I mean, this makes the most sense for that. Just no, but this makes the most sense also for Vladimir. I'm not sure why this one would be argued. Maybe we'll find out later. And now there's a platform, all intentional by Yze. Could have farmed with the horse. Took here, but probably. Well, why don't we, cut to the chase and try figuring out really what went down here at the time of the comments. So here we have some standard moves. So now we have this. But is this the horse that we are talking about? I mean, it could be. Could have farmed. Ah, yeah. So we could have gone like over here and dropped the farmer, which I don't think at all would have been a bad choice. I mean, with three meeples in hand, it's certainly not something that you want to, delay all that much. Like you already know that you are like kind of significantly behind with all these threats over here, and you know these farms are gonna be valuable enough to farm because like either you get all three daggers and you are living just a great life, or you get at least a 6-point field like with this one. So yeah, certainly already going like over here right now instead of just taking 2 points is all right. But I think what Uche simply wanted to do here is he he first of all wanted to take care that he uses quick point tiles as quick point tiles simply to take like all extra points for himself, and like then he can meeple the field with like a less valuable tile, like just like a straight road or like a road here, like any road tile with here. And he also, with this tile, also created an attacking platform to this 12-point field with, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, still, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, still 2 remaining curves. So there is also now an attacking platform to the 12-point field, which is really not that, like, not bad at all. He's just simply trying to create more threats, not immediate ones, but like with threats with the future potential, which I think is also like really just fine. And connected with the curve on the next move, I think you are talking about actually a later horse. Yeah. Am I counting right? He could YOLO for one more dagger. Yeah, I assume Terricloth is talking about here for the big city, which ended up being finished with the dagger. And in that regard, yes, you would be counting correctly. Did Vladimir blunder with the second splitter? Mm, maybe. Let's see. It was like 100 and let's say 120. That should be enough. Not quite yet, but with the second splitter, yeah. I see what you mean. So um, like this is of course a natural move by Vladimir, but what the chat here is, I assume saying is that maybe Vladimir should have taken into account that the city was still completable, and he could have simply just gone over here to to deny the completion of the city, or even this way around. Maybe even drop a farmer, who knows? But just to simply make sure that this city is not completed. And actually, with by doing this, he creates this 6-point field, which ended up being lucrative enough for Uche to actually make a dual purpose move, take 6 points here, and uh, allows the actually allows more than one sequence of tiles to complete the city with. So he could either get this vanilla and the dagger, or the other way around, of course, also the dagger and the vanilla, or he can get the dagger and the city crossroad, or the crossroad and the dagger, which he did. So yeah, potentially a miss from Vladimir, but I mean, I want to say that it's simply because of Vladimir, or simply because of Vladimir being so far ahead in points that he didn't really care about the huge uh, threats of Utse, uh, of being completed. He just kind of cared that he keeps scoring, and then if he just keeps doing that like he did, then there is no way that Utse, even with the extreme success of his city, can catch up to him. But yeah, I would have to agree that um, going over here and making sure that this city is blocked would have been a better move. Not only for the sake of finishing the city, for the sake of not being, for the sake of not allowing Utse to not to finish the city, but also if you go here with the actually over here is a bit better. If you go here with the city caps, then you can also potentially get one more city cap, one more city to your field. So some extra points even there for Vladimir. I think at that point he could even have just placed it on the city, and that would have been a full block. Also true. Also actually a really great suggestion. just Yeah, actually I would say it's arguably. Wait, what? Wait. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I would actually have to say that it would have been a fantastic play because simply it doesn't leave any extra stick ups that he doesn't need to leave. He just takes away his meeple, has two meeples to play with, and he blocks the city. So don't even need to hassle with any city cap play over here. You can just simply take your meeple back very calmly and block the city in the process. Also, something that I completely missed out there. Vladimir is exceptionally good at spotting completable city patterns. The big city on the right here, and an even better one against StatMat. Never won against Vladimir. I mean, arguably it is pretty difficult to beat him, as he again has shown with his excellent level. Gotta do some proper preparation before the final, it seems. Yeah, I would highly encourage you to do some proper preparation because you are gonna need it. You are not only because of simply Vladimir's level, but also so that you don't get swept by him for the second time in 2 years in the final matches of CCL. I mean, arguably, if Vladimir was to sweep you in the grand finale, it would be even more devastating than him sweeping you in the semifinals. Can someone give me a chest? My best guess. First two games I could have won, might have even wasted. Um, I mean, I think in the second game especially, I mean, you did have an like actual winning chance, though you would have to review that. Huh. Okay. Would have to review that with bit more analytical mind, but the I think we had a like some sort of winning sequence there in the end game for us. I'm like 06. Third one would have been a little better with the cow taken to prevent that damn city in the beginning. A little better with the cow. Um, this one, yeah, actually, let's take a look at the very beginning because we did miss that. Um, we were a bit late into the party, so let's review or recap the early stuff here. So just the normal things. We take 4 points. We go here. I mean, this is all normal stuff. Then goes this, and I mean, I think this is still okay. Maybe even, do we even ever meeple any road here? Probably not, because it's a shared feature. Then it goes here. We start a loop, which is all fine. Vladimir breaks that. We do this. Oh, you had the second cow. Okay, well now we definitely have some stuff. Okay, and now we are going here. Yeah, but like I still wouldn't say that this is like a big mistake or anything. Maybe an inaccuracy, if even that. Because like, okay, it's definitely possible, you know, because this square is already like kind of more or less saved for for Vladimir to attack here. But like usually, I would argue that these kind of features, which are like of course completable, but are only worth 3 points altogether, and you would have to make you know sort of a large-ish effort to complete all this. It's not something that I would necessarily go for myself. Like this this Dorito is potentially the only tile that Vladimir goes for this with, because I I'm having really difficult time imagining that Vladimir would go for this with a cow or with any city cap here. I think with the city cap he will just start a city from anywhere. I really think that this field Dorito is the only type of tile that Vladimir will use to attack the city with, and even so, it's really not guaranteed at all that this is going to be completed. Though I I think I then would um, go instead over here or over there. But I mean, when you think about it, I mean, this platform is a bit like more important to block, right? Isn't it? Because there is a chance of a splitter or a chance of a divider going here, whereas Vladimir will never be able to get this 1 point city away from this 1 point city part of yours. So making this block slash attacking platform on this square, I'd say is uh, has a bit less value than going over here straight away. And like also the fact that he just simply got three back-to-back um just simply three back-to-back Doritos is not really something that you you most that you most of the time can expect, is it? So I mean that's just really unfortunate stuff for you, Utse there. Starting tile should have been used to prevent Vladimir's huge city, and if not, then at least not take 3 points with the curve, but meeple the top field. Hold up, so starting tile should have been used to prevent Vladimir's huge city. Can we get somewhere, or is BGA frozen? Oh, come on. BGA is frozen. Uh, Unfortunately. Let's go a bit deeper where we left off. Like here, it's a fine thing. The vanilla in the third game allowed me to complete the city in the end, but the game was over anyway. Yeah, it definitely was. We were merely talking about that, I would say that it still counts as a mistake slash inaccuracy for Vladimir because in an optimal play, I'd say it is defined by being able to like maximize the point difference um, with your points against your opponent's points, and not actually by how much you score exactly. I'm sure you'll find errors that might have made a difference, Utsumatsu, but I think the gist is that you played excellently against an excellent opponent. Um, yeah, I think there were. I think there is. Um, let's say in plural. I think there are um, actually several more or less key moments which I think Utse could have done better at. So I mean, excellently might be an overstatement, even though it might sound harsh, but I definitely think that when you play excellently, then you are not going to be losing 3-0 with such a, you know, uh, by such a clear margin or in a clear way than we now saw. Using the dagger to restrict Vladimir City would have been more or less useless. Ah, yes, talking about, I think the later situation where we discussed whether it was more worth of relieving your own city and taking the road points than restricting your opponent's city to the dagger that he needed in the first place anyway. Might have considered it, but if would have been the first of its kind. Yeah, uh, with the second of its kind being, it's certainly a whole different story. And I, like I said earlier, I think you made the right choice there, just taking back your meeple and um, keeping up and even increasing your meeple advantage. You are a better judge of excellence than I am, so I won't argue the point. But let's just say this wasn't one of those matches where Otto is yelling at either player the whole time. I mean, the matches where I yell, I mean, they require some severe mistakes and quite a handful of mistakes before I just like start actually yelling. I mean, I do tend to raise my voice. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, those happen when I see big mistakes or big misses or just constant um, like constant inaccuracies in someone's play. And yeah, I would agree that in this match I did not have the reason to do that. So you could say that I had a bit more, a bit less, a bit less of a um, temper in this match than in some of the earlier ones. Too focused on creating an option to attack the field on the right. The debate about the orientation of the road is about the T that closes with this road on the right. That C was placed so I still have a chance to attack the field somehow. What's he? Ah, yeah, there are definitely some drawbacks when going through the chat like later on. But we will do our best. Let's go until the end of the game to see. I mean, because the T usually refers to a crossroad, but don't see no crossroad spots here. I mean, this is the tile that the most looks like the type of one that could be related to these comments, but the horse is about attacking the field on the right instead of freeing the monastery. I even thought about not closing but ninjaing with it. With a triple city, eh? With this final triple city, but from where would you exactly do that? Well, for that to occur to us, we need to go, let's say to 100 and see if that is used yet, which I don't think it is at that point. It isn't, so now we can see what it's was hoping for. Ninjaing probably, maybe from here, maybe from there. The quad city goes, this one goes, and then now the triple city with the road. So I mean, if you want to go ninjas, then yeah, this is pretty much the only option, right? But you could also maybe simply place it over here and place a farmer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, doesn't look like the worst move to be over here. Place a farmer and take 3 points when you connect. Ninjaing is quite extra, if talking about the same tile, of course. Vladimir could have killed the city with either splitter. Yeah, we covered that. And I got the worst permutation of them all, but it really didn't change anything. The game was decided by then. I thought about putting the second cow exactly where Vladimir did go with his field Dorito later. Well, that is unfortunate to prevent this sort of thing. Slightly annoyed it was a cow and not a Dorito. Oh, so you would have actually went for the same stuff. I'm not sure I would have actually went there myself. Maybe I have some improvement to do in, like, you know being able to like see these completable cities when they are only like merely few points. Did go for the right side because that would allow an easier second attack on the top if necessary. Mm, an easier second attack on the top. Okay, I mean that also makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Crossroad to complete my 5-point road at the end of Vladimir's top right field. Ah, okay. I see. So we are talking about the like a completely different tile. So with this we could have, let's you know, for viewers' sake, let's pull up the right moment. So let's go like 80, and to really demonstrate what what this would have meant. So we get the dagger, we go over here, and then I believe our very next um, tile is the crossroad here. So not so instead of finishing the road, Uche is saying that he considered doing over here and dropping a ninja farmer with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 2 crossroads remaining, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8 curvy tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and actually not many straight roads either. So, I mean, the odds of actually pulling this off successfully were roughly thinking in your favor, with only what 3 tiles, maybe starting tiles, 1, 2, like 4 tiles for Vladimir to prevent that with like 1 tile. Of course, there are some combinations that can do that, but actually not the worst idea. Uh, -5, 9, 10, 8, +1 equal, and then you are basically just -8 here with an extra meeple, and but then Vladimir of course has the threats of these. So um, not sure if a ninja would have been excessive over here. I mean, because at this point, when Vladimir hasn't actually gotten his dagger set, and this city is still blockable, I think we could potentially even be somewhat okay when we do just what you did. We take a meeple back, and then we are simply, first on this field, and then we block this city. I think it would turn out all right. So I don't think it's a big miss, if a miss at all. That ninja would have been more or less a 50-50. I still had better options and definitely winning routes. Yeah, exactly. So, why take risks at the moment when you don't really need to take them yet? To attack this 12-point field of Vladimir, which would have been closed by me if I had turned the crossroad with 1 point to the south. Yep. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you have had a just completely logical moves here. Unfortunately, you got a bit screwed over somewhat by the deck in the mid game here, especially when Vladimir was like getting uh, like just such a dream sequence here, finishing this, dropping a farmer, getting this, dropping a farmer, finishing this, getting even the road points here, and just getting to be the first one on every field here was like just really kind of dramatic stuff, I have to say. But what's done is done. Certainly, we will still congratulate Utsi for getting all the way to the semi-finals, something which only 8 players, something which only 8 players have done so far in the history. As a matter of fact, 6 players, because now Vladimir has been there for 2 times, and Alexei has been there 2 times. So 6 players have managed to get to the semis. So that is certainly in a respectable performance from the German player here. We will be anxiously waiting for when Vladimir and Alexei agree on the timing of their grand finale match, and we will be streaming that. I'd say pretty certainly, no matter what day and what time it takes place. You know, obviously it's going to be assumably next week. I don't think it's going to happen on this week or weekend yet, but they both have now the rest of the week most likely to rest and study each other. And next week we'll be seeing how the absolute banger of a match and a rematch from last year will take place. Will the MSO Grand Prix champion, the world record holder, the 5-time national champion, and all those titles, how will he do against the 2016 world champion, the defending CCL champion, and a numerous time representative in the world championships? Which one will win? It's gonna be an absolute blast, and we'll take full coverage on that. That's going to be it all for today. I thank you all for watching and sticking all the way until the end. I will see you with some more Carcassonne content in the future, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.